Hello guys, NautoAce here, and actually this is going to be a lost V-Blog, and if people remember what it is, it's basically a V-Blog from a past, a subject that's way in the past. I just never really put it up or talked about it. I just decided as of right now, just put it up there. So what is it this time? So it's another little bit of quote-unquote controversy. Basically, I am talking about a person. But this is a lost V-Blog, so this is already in the past, but I just want to give my opinion of the situation. So, a little bit of controversy because the reason is I kind of talked about this person before, and that is Mike Ross. So, the story behind it was I wanted to give like a closure also with Mike Ross because I think at March, he did ask me anything, and he basically revealed some stuff that I didn't even know that it was his idea, not the other way around, and I gave my thoughts about it. So I was going to plan to put it somewhere in the month of April, but didn't really fit, and again, schedule, and I want to put some other different video that I think was more quote-unquote appropriate, well, as an opinion, and I really never put it up. And the reason I even did this video, because I want to, like I said, give my thoughts about it, and a closure, because I kind of 2 years ago, after the last episode of the Capcom Pro Talk, you know what he did. So I kind of called him out on it because of his action. A lot of people didn't really agree with it. They said that's what FGC is all about. Some people said he has the right because there was something more to it, which is actually true. There was something more to it, but at the time, no one knew what the whole story is. He was coming out a bit of like time and time again, a bit later, like revealing certain things what's happening, such as he wanted to leave the scene because he doesn't agree with esports, which kind of understandable. And I actually did a video about it, but unfortunately, whatever your opinion is, I decided not to put it up. I deleted that video. It was basically like a follow-up, trying to make that a closure, but afterwards I just said, it just wasn't working. I just going run around, so I said, I'm not going to put this up. I'll just wait to see what more, maybe let it die down. Let's see what happened, put it in the back burner, maybe something more is going to happen. And then March of 2018, something did happen. UltrachenTV talked about it, some people talked about it. So like I said, I did a video, but I was going to plan to put it like a week later after what Mike Ross did. Never really happened until now. So that's why I'm putting it here this week rather than actually the 10th anniversary. Because let's just say, I'm not going to put this part of my actual MmGS V-Blog. It's basically it's a video. That's why if you notice no intro and there won't be like an ender in this video. It's just me just giving my thoughts about Mike Ross. So yeah, so with that, here's my old video about Mike Ross from his MA Ask Me Anything. Was originally recorded 3 days later after he did that one. Like I said, I was going to plan to put it on April. Never did, so here's the video. Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I think there's going to be a controversial V-Blog, but I guess this one's going to be, let's just say, I need closure for this topic here. And what is this controversial V-Blog? Judging by the title and the graphic, well, quote unquote, what's the word I'm looking for? Trigger warning, I mean. Yes, I'll be talking about once again Mike Ross, former, I guess, FGC. Alright, so why is this sort of a controversial topic? It's because I kind of did this 2 years ago, I think in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Links on the description box in this particular video. And I basically called out Mike Ross because of what he did in the last episode of the Capcom Pro Talk on Twitch. I can get to that in detail, but that'll be later on. But basically, this is sort of a warning for everyone. Are a fan of Mike Ross, or you're a big supporter of him for Mike Ross. And you don't want to hear my being critical on him. I'm trying to be nice here. Well, I am trying to be nice. I have no problem with Mike Ross, but, you're in the internet a lot of time, even if you're giving your objective opinion, your professional opinion, not attacking the guy. You're just calling out of what the situation is. That's it. A lot of people don't like it, and it's within their rights. That's what it is. So I'm just warning a lot of people here that if you're a big supporter of Mike Ross and you think he done nothing wrong, then you might want to just click back. The reason I want to do this video is, like I said, is closure is one, and two, there was some new revelation that came out. Props to Event Hub. They made an article about it. Then I link on the link. Basically, he gave his whole story, his whole story of what was going on and why he left the community. So again, this video may be controversial, maybe not. I'm just warning. I'm just putting out there. I'm warning people because, again, just like in the internet, anytime you talk about someone, whether you're being mature about it, you're being objective, you're just calling out the situation, not attacking the person himself, that person itself. Because trust me, in that video I didn't attack Mike Ross. I didn't insult him. I had no problem with Mike Ross. I never met the guy in a personal level. I never met him in real life. I just know of that person because of his stature. That's it. But, a lot of people said, hey, why are you saying that his this and that? You have no right. I'm just calling out to what I saw on the internet. I mean, make your own conclusion. I understand. So that's the reason I'm kind of warning people. But also I want this to be closure in my side because, like I said, there was some new development and kind of interesting. And some of the theory that I was thinking kind of makes sense of why he did what he did. So, again, one last time, this is going to be maybe a controversial topic. Of course, it's going to be a trigger warning because I am talking about a person once again. And every time I do that, I always have to put this disclaimer that I have no ill will to this person. I'm just being critical. I am just calling out the situation, not the person themselves. So with that, here's my thoughts on Mike Ross, basically new development that happened. So with that, 5, 4, 3, 2. Before I start giving my thoughts on Mike Ross on his latest basically explanation of why he left the FGC, I need to go back in, let's just say, time, why I'm even doing this in the first place. You always hear me say, hey, you're not in the FGC, why do you even talk about it? I know you like fighting games, but you're not you're never interested in the community. So what's it to you about Mike Ross? You're right. Like I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I have no problem with Mike Ross. I never did. I think he's just a guy who's very skillful. But we're going to go back in time. Basically, the video that I did, a quick V-Blog during the summer of 2016, is basically calling out Mike Ross in a professional level, let's just say. A person of what they do, his professional job, let's just say that. I know there'll be more to it about this professional job, quote unquote. And if you watch the very last episode of Calcum Pro Talk, you know what he did. So for people who don't know what I'm talking about, let me just recap this. So normally they have this, I guess, segment that they'll challenge Mike Ross or any other FGC guest to fight against some guy online, maybe they're FGC online, whatever. And if they win, they get some Twitch Turbo, kind of prizes. But lately what's happening apparently is that every time Mike Ross plays Street Fighter V, he wasn't really up to par, some people said. I mean, whatever the reason is. Maybe the game's not for him. Whatever the reason is. I mean, remember, Street Fighter V is like a reboot to Street Fighter 2, basically. But that's a different story. So he was losing, and then at one match after the match, all suddenly he basically threw the stick down, kicking the stick, he threw his wallet, and basically he was, I hate to say it, he was salty beyond salty. And I called him out on that. And the reason is not to make fun of the guy. I have no problem with the guy. I could say I was concerned, but people probably not going to believe me. But that was the main reason. I'm like, like, I may not know him personally, but I know the guy because of what he does publicly. And I'm just saying, hey, look, come on. Dude, it's only a game. Calm down. You don't want to act like that. And some people even, kind of like what I said, they also said the same thing. They said, Mike, hey, calm down. I mean, if you want the FGC to grow, you can't be that, like, ultra salty. Like, he was just like, and a lot of people even think, oh, it was an SNL skit. It was fake. Some people, like myself, I think it was true. And then there's some even said, hey, you know what? Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. So this is what happened as of right now with Mike Ross. So I wanted to do this sort of a week later after the news been posted, and I gotta give credit to Event House for basically posting the news. There's basically an article that they're talking about Mike Ross finally breaking his silence about why he left the FGC and a lot of the situations that what happened with Twitch, what he did in the last episode of the Capcom Pro Talk. And like I said, I'm sorry to say, no offense. I'm like, I have no problem with Mike Ross, but I am sticking to what I believe, that he was frustrated because of his passion, basically being the passion that he supported is in question, that he left, it was frustration, that it's not an SNL skit. And like I said before, I know when people did trying to ask that, I heard people that trying to ask Flo and K-Brad, they just said, make your own conclusion. So this article that I read basically showed that, well, my theory was right. And you can agree with me or not. Hey, it's your opinion, but it kind of makes sense. And a lot of the puzzle is getting together. It kind of makes sense. So the big thing here, my thoughts are going to be the elephant in the room is the Capcom Pro Talk. So at first I always thought that it was Capcom basically asking Mike Ross, hey, are you interested in the FGC? Do you like Capcom? Would you like to do a talk show supporting the FGC and Street Fighter games? And then Mike Ross just said yes, because, he's a fan of Street Fighter, etc., etc. That wasn't really the case. So the case was, it was Mike Ross who came out to Capcom and said, hey, guess what? I have this suggestion. I want to do a talk show about fighting games, and they call it the Capcom Pro Talk. Can I do something like that? And Capcom talked with Twitch. They were talking about deals and they're talking about business, and it was basically approved. Thus, for 2 years, Mike Ross hosted the show. It was his show, so I didn't know that. So gotta give props to Mike. Shows that his passion, and the reason why he stopped it was, well, I hate to say it, the word is corporate America or corporate Japan, or let's just say the business. Capcom decided not to support it after a while. So if Capcom can't support it and they're saying there's no money, that's a keyword, money, how can Mike Ross support the show to a point? Then he just said, you know what, you're not supporting the show, why should I too? That I kind of agree with that. So that's really sad. When that happened, I guess Mike Ross was frustrated. In that part, I can relate to that one, believe it or not. FGC, maybe not so much, but passion, when your passion and business basically clashing, or what I call it, passion versus profit. Mike Ross had a passion to share the love of the FGC, Capcom games, Capcom fighting games, as what Miles would call it, Maximilian Dude. And, basically trying to introduce it to the newcomers. But when profit comes in and the business comes in, and when Capcom basically says, we're not making any money out of this, nobody's watching, or who knows, but the bottom line is that there's no really money flowing or whatever, to a point that Capcom's not even supporting it because there's no money, what do? The sad part here is that sometimes in order to do your passion, you're going to need finance, you're going to need money. So in that part, I can understand, like, building your dream game, let's just go with video game, you think you can just do it, but if you don't have the resource and the finance to do it, that's going to be hard. No joke there. I mean, case in point, basically Star Wars Battlefront 2. They probably had something in mind to make it a good better improved Star Wars game, but then EA as a company said, we got to make money. What's the solution? Loot boxes, microtransaction, in a paid game. And not only that the microtransaction are pay to win if you're lucky. So again, the business side, because you got to make money. So I can understand why he stopped that, and I can understand why in the end now why he did what he did. I guess to a point in the back of his head, because of what the talks behind the scene, he really just got frustrated and he just said, you know what, he flipped the table and walked off. So for people saying, oh, it's a skit, well, I'll just leave it to your conclusion, but really didn't look like a skit to me, and this one really looked like it didn't. I mean, look at the chain of reaction, him leaving the FGC, or basically they want to be part of the public scene of the FGC, to a point now he's saying, hey, I can't support this, the direction it's going, it's not a cup of tea of mine, I don't like it, to a point that even Capcom didn't want to support his talk show, the Capcom Pro Talk. So that's really a shame, and yeah, I can understand from that part. So I mean, yeah. So another thing about from the article that Microsoft basically revealed is esports. So unfortunately, in this part of mine is FGC. Like I said, I'm not part of the FGC. I like fighting games. The scene of the FGC really not something I dealt like really to it. So maybe all I can say about esports type thing is that if the show is entertaining for me, I'll just watch it. That's it. But from what I can understand in the perspective of business, it helps make money. That's why Capcom had to do it. That's why, to some extent, Nintendo, Namco Bandai with Tekken 7, WB Games with Mortal Kombat and Injustice 2. If there's a scene and they can promote the game and make more people come in, there you go. That's profit. I mean, even Nintendo with Smash Brothers. Of course, what's coming out? The new Smash Brothers for the Switch. That's probably going to have an esports. ARMS has a sort of competitive scene. Again, esports there. So from there, I don't know really what to say, but it's, in the end of the day, it's business. I mean, speedrun, Nintendo World Champion, that could be in esports. Anything that promotes the game and makes money, whether by rent-a-view, by watching Twitch, maybe tickets, what else, stuff, or what's I'm looking for? Not prices, but swags. There you go, swags. There you go. What helps? As long as it makes the company money, they'll do it. So, and I know Mike Ross said that he didn't like the idea of FGC being esports, like it's changing. I'll give my thoughts about it, like it's thought about changing. So I can't really say anything about that, but with the Capcom Pro Talk, I understand because of the business basically getting interfered, but again, it is a business. And the last thing I just want to talk about is, and there's really more, if I remember, I'll put the link in the description box. Oh, two more I really want to share. One is his opinion now with Capcom, and this one, I guess he was well aware. He did say that he's probably going to be, after what he gave his opinion, he was going to be blacklisted, and I probably wouldn't be surprised if they did. Mike Ross gave his opinion about Capcom and Street Fighter V. And with Street Fighter V, he basically said the game sucks, so he doesn't really like it. I don't think you're going to really get blacklisted for that, unless you insult the company. But the problem is, he kind of did. He talks about Capcom. But in the game itself, yeah, not a lot of people really like Street Fighter V, whether you're an FGC or a casual. Some people don't. Me, personally, as a casual who loves fighting game, who's not part of the FGC, Street Fighter V is one of my all-time favorite Street Fighter game. Again, I'm not competitive, so you kind of see why. So Mike Ross said didn't really like it. I get the idea of, dubbing it. That Street Fighter V was basically focusing on casual, but again, you want more people to go in. He didn't like the idea, no surprise, but as a Capcom in the business, then he kind of went colorful. Well, not so, yeah, he did go colorful, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, that probably gonna blacklist him for that, in my opinion, because again, because it's that's basically sort of a popular, he's well known to the FGC, a lot of people listen to him, he's the voice of the FGC to some extent. So, of course, the last thing, before I end this, is the price of popularity. See, me I'm not popular. Nobody knows me. Not ever. It is what it is. That's the internet. Alex Valley basically addressed that. When you become popular, a lot of things are going to happen. And, of course, Mike did. The contribution he did to the FGC, probably he played good. I mean, he's a good player. He's competitive. Well, not in, I think he still is. He's good with Honda, but he is a good player. You know, the show with Gutex, with Cross Counter, basically teaching people how to play fighting game, to basically just showing his love of the FGC. But of course, just like Total Biscuit, the price of popularity, you will have haters for no reason because they're jelly. It is what it is. I knew friends that they got famous. People hated them because jelly, like Total Biscuit, even PewDiePie. Some people got jelly with PewDiePie because he makes money for doing stupid ass videos, and he's a college dropout, and it's like life's not fair. That's life. What do you want to say? You know, you can't say anything about it. So, first of all, apparently according to Mike Ross, he didn't want to get popular. He just become popular, and that's technically is true. Justin Wong, Knuckle Doo, Punk, Miles 923, Maximilian Dude, Matt Simmons from Yogi V Game, etc., etc. Heck, even in my circle, MmGS X1, Big Al, to some extent. Darkscreen 127, I think, I'm sorry. Heck, Mike Maverick, even this person I have no problem with. Of course, I never really had a problem with this guy. Spax3, but I think he has a new name, but that's a different story. They did what they did because they like what they're doing, and they got popular because people like what they did. It's just how it goes. I mean, I did what I did, but look at me. But again, you don't get popular because you want to. It just happens. Mike Ross said it just happened. Miles 923 basically admitted, he said it just happened. You don't do stuff to make yourself popular. It happened. Of course, getting popular also has the price of haters, trolls, jelly people, and to a point that his life was basically went upside down. And I feel for him for that. That's also messed up. So, I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. But that's just me, but I know some people would. So that's kind of messed up. That's why he didn't want to be the face. Basically, also saying real friends versus fake friends. And he said he did an experiment like in 2016. He said he announced it was his birthday. A lot of comments, oh, happy birthday. And are they really their fans or not? And then the year after that, he didn't say anything about it because no one knew. I guess people forgot when his birthday. Only his friends that knew basically wish him a happy birthday. Again, I understand, like, do I know when Mike Ross' happy birthday? No, unless I follow the guy, I can't really say when's his birthday. I mean, Facebook probably will do that, or they announce it. That's really it. I know some of my friends' birthday to some extent. I know, shame on me, but again, same thing. Again, to some extent, Facebook will tell you when your birthday. Like for me personally, and this is just for me personally, that I do wish the people that I support, the people I'm a fan of, a birthday, but I always say this word. I will always say, happy birthday from a fan. And the keyword there is from a fan, that I let him know. We can be friends because you're cool, but I'm a fan first because, you know, I knew you, I like your video, and that's really it. But again, I'm doing it as a fan. Friend, maybe, but again, fake friend versus real friend. Again, I can understand where that's coming from, and that's what Mike, right? And I do feel for him because some people did one, and he kind of felt like some people are pretending to be quote unquote his friend to get popular. Like, oh, if I hang around with a popular guy, I get popular. Again, that'd be true. That maybe not be true. Who knows? But you know, I've seen situations that people kind of did that. I'm not going to name. I know some people did say about this particular YouTuber I used to follow, not anymore. I had a problem with another YouTuber I do respect and follow. I'm not going to say names. From what some people said that this person, and again, I don't know. I have no idea his past or her past. He or she. But then, you know, hanging around with a particular, you know, some other people. And then they got famous, etc., whatever. But yeah, that's what happened. That's what some Mike Ross kind of felt some people were doing. So kind of feel for that one. So overall, what do I think about the situation, what Mike Ross did? And I can say it is unfortunate I feel for him now. The business kind of screwed him. The situation kind of screwed him. Even his life went upside down. But hopefully he does get better in the long run. I mean, Mike Ross, don't give up. Do what you need to do. Just, be happy. That's it. So that's my thoughts about Mike Ross's situation. So with that, thanks for listening.